What up, nerds?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to State of Sorcery 2025 Midyear Review. I don't know. Me and CJ wanted to do this like every 6 months or so. So I did one at the beginning of this year of 2025, doing one now 6 months in, kind of get a feel of where everything is, and we'll probably do one right after Gothic or something. But we wanted to bring up some fun news of Sorcery, right? The Dust Store was the most recent big announcement. I personally got the Druid, and I love the Melissa Benson Warhorse.
Nice. Did you get a warhorse? Did you get multiple?
It's 1,000 dust. It's 1,000 dust for one Warhorse. It's like,
We all know
ow.
you're a big spender, Mr. Alpha Foils over here.
Oh yeah, whatever. So yeah, I got Druid, and I'll be getting the other things eventually. But
I like it.
yeah. Also, the binders. If I reach around here, I have
Phrasing? Are we doing that?
2 binders.
Hey! Nice.
So I got the new binders. They look great. So that's really cool to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did also purchase the binders. I have a really nice binder for like all of my foils and my uniques right now, but I'm running out of room, and so I figured why not get the sorcery binders and put them in that one, which is pretty exciting. I have not yet spent any dust. I'm torn. I think I kind of want the druid, although 4 cards for 1 avatar seems like a lot, which is the only reason I haven't done it yet. The art is beautiful, and I think I'm going to do it. But I'm like, 4 cards, one avatar, that's crazy. And for whatever reason, although I have never even one time played Camelot, I have a foil one. I opened it. I've never played Camelot. That's the other one that's kind of like speaking to me on the Dust Store.
I'm also going to get the foot soldiers too. Have you played with full size
Makes
tokens?
No, it's weird.
So nice.
Dude, I literally, every time we play on Tabletop Simulator, I shrink Tawny down to a foot soldier size because it doesn't make sense that she's... If you could make me a Tawny that was actually foot soldier sized, I think I would pay more for that.
Even back in beta, when it was just beta and using the little foot soldiers, I would forget about those things constantly. I need to see it. I'm a visual remind. I need to see it.
I gotta say, when I was at the Sorcery Con Limited Championship, I ended up winning my quarterfinals match because my opponent forgot about some foot soldiers. So I can see how that's a problem, but it helps me, so I'm in.
So foot soldiers,
small tokens.
Foot soldiers are on my list.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. I mean, I was thinking with the new Dust promos that they would probably cycle out the old ones, but they haven't. So if you haven't got your old Color Out of Space or your Cloud City, which both look really good in foil, you should do so. I've got both, and I really like them.
And the other thing they've done is you can buy 3 of each now. There's no
3 of each of some of them.
No, all of them.
What?
Yeah, you can buy 3 of each of everything.
Okay, well, I will be having to buy some more colors.
Yeah, you can get
gorgeous.
more colors. I don't know how I feel about that. I like it. I like be able to get a playset of Pudge Butchers and do that. But like maybe I can see the argument of like by rarity, you like get 1 color. You get 3 Pudge Butchers. You like.
I like that idea, but I will say that I have a feeling that the game will continue to get better and people will continue to start joining and playing. I have a visitor for my puppy. I think we're going to get more players, and what they haven't said, but what I do suspect is that there's a limited number of each, right? And so like once they're, because we know that they're out of like the out of the painting. There was a painting.
Oh yeah, the one of one painting. Yeah, it was out.
They sold out. It sold out, so they can sell out of some of these promos. No, I have a suspicion that they printed like a certain amount, and then they're not going to like go back and reprint, the Color Out of Space. Once that one's gone, it's going to be gone. So as the player base grows, those will eventually run out. So I don't know that it's actually diluting rarity. It's just diluting rarity for individual.
I think they will run out eventually, but I think they will reprint them if they decide to reprint them. I think they will make a decision to end them at some point, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll let us know. Hashtag roadmap or whatever people say.
Yeah, what do people yell about? That's yeah.
Old man yelling at the clouds. So on a more positive note, Bruce, who was not going to go to Gen Con, or if he was going to go to Gen Con, it was only going to be limited.
Yep.
Somebody convinced you to go.
I don't know why
do
you
all
did.
the events.
I don't know why you did. Yeah. So we're both going to Gen Con, and we're both going to be sorcery the entire time.
To be fair, as much as I love this game, I love all board games, honestly. So many board games. But the sheer number of events that were available to purchase tickets for made me just do Sorcery. It was like there are over 500 vendors and 18,000 events, and I was just like, I'm overwhelmed by choice. I guess I'll do every Sorcery event.
I just I just know from my experience last year, I didn't enjoy walking the halls and doing other like giant crowd things. So I just hung out at Sorcery all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm just gonna play Sorcery for 4 or 5 days.
Plus
in a row.
paper Sorcery.
Yes,
Paper
paper
Sorcery.
Sorcery is amazing.
Amazing.
Like
Yeah.
we play TTS all the time. I would much rather
Yeah.
play paper.
Bruce throws my cards on TTS all the time. So now he gets to do it in person.
Oh, I'm not gonna throw your cards in person.
It'll be great.
Maybe in the Airbnb, I'll throw you cards in person. But
That's fair.
yeah,
So we got a couple of cool events. I know what I'm most excited for. What are you most excited for?
speaking of events, before we go too far into this,
Just kidding.
the 21st of this month in Columbus, Ohio, at 5-6 Gaming, we have a Explorer Series event. I think we're up to 34 people signed up already. A max
Pretty
of
cool.
38. I think this is going to be one of the biggest in-person sorcery events outside of like a con or some big event.
That's pretty awesome.
Our last Explorer Series, I think the biggest one was like 28 or 30. So I'm so stoked for that one.
So there's still 4 tickets left, and you should go.
Yes.
I honestly was going to crash it and not mention anything, but I have work that day, so
Boo. Who has work?
I agree.
Yeah, so events at Gen Con. Events at Gen Con.
Yeah.
I ruined your
Yes.
segue.
It's okay. I am super excited for one specific event. Can you guess what it is?
Team Sealed.
Hell yeah! I think Team Sealed looks really cool. So do you have actually the Gen Con, like what it is
Yes,
specifically?
Team
the events?
Sealed. It's formed of
You know
three
what?
three
I was really
person
excited when I
teams.
read it.
3-person teams. The team is going to get 18 boosters, 9 AL, 9 beta, and make 3 decks. And they're going to be 3 rounds, pack per win. It sounds like we're all 3 going to be playing one game. Like one person's going to be a pilot, and 2 people are going to be like talking on their shoulders and like giving ideas. That's what it says.
Are you serious? Wait, no. I'm like 80% sure the way Ira described it was different than that.
Oh, sorry. I'm bad at reading. We'll help you find a team if needed. I got excited. I want to play 3-person.
I was like, 3-headed giant, 1 deck sounds actually kind of terrible, but I'm glad you're excited.
I thought that was
So,
yeah. Each player
From what
needs
I
their own event
understand-
ticket. You have to sign up for that. Find a team, and one person will play one person, and no help from outside. But
okay,
whatever.
Bruce is no longer excited about
I'm
this
no
event,
longer
but
excited.
I am. So the way that it works is you have my team of 3, and let's say Bruce had a team of 3, and we would say, all right, we're going to match up. And we each play one player from that team. And the way that it goes is you have one player who chooses to always be on the play, one player who chooses always to be on the draw, and one player who rolls a die for it. So your play player will play against the draw player, and your die players will play against each other. Does that make sense? It's exciting. So you basically you build your fast deck to be on the play, you build your defensive deck to be on the draw, and you build your mid-range deck to be in the middle, and you can actually put strategy into building these decks, and you get to build 3 decks together. I'm so excited as a brewer. This is like blowing my mind. 18 packs to build the 3 best decks I can, like with my buddies, to like divvy out the threats so that you can win 2 out of those 3 matches. And that's how you win.
I think you're excited for this one. Yeah.
I'm so excited for this one. Screw the championships. This is where it's at.
I'm more excited for the limited championship on Friday.
Okay, that's cool too.
Yeah. I'll be playing in the constructed. I have my own. We'll get into the feelings about constructed here in a little bit, but
Who's he bringing? Who's he bringing, guys?
We'll talk about it later. But yeah, I'm excited for the limited one, and then there's another constructed 32 person on
Yes, the Sunday
Sunday.
constructed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one already sold 12 tickets out of 32. And
Well, damn, I have to go buy that soon.
Yes.
It was announced today.
Yeah, it was announced today, and 12 people already picked it up. So
Yeah. So we got Team Sealed, which I'm super excited for. There are going to be the Learn to Play events, which is the only one I'm actually a part of, but I might like come over and help people learn how to play. I don't know. Last year, Reed Duke came, which is kind of awesome.
I got to meet Reed Duke and ask him about sorcery, so that was pretty cool. Rutosaurus will be running the Learn to Plays, and he is an amazing, friendly dude. So he's
Well, dude,
great
Archives of
teacher.
the Realm.
Yeah, archives.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Excited for all of that. What else do we got for Sorcery Con or not Sorcery Con?
There's
Gen Con.
there's a draft on Thursday morning, which I'm not doing.
10 a.m.
Because I'm flying in. Yeah, I'm flying in, so
I
I won't be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive early and get there and and just wing it.
You're doing the Thursday morning
I
draft.
told you I'm doing
All
every
right, yeah.
single event I can.
All right, he's doing more than me. I am doing the 4 o'clock one on Thursday though, which will be exciting.
I'm doing that one too.
And then there's like a trade and play, which I'm doing
Yes.
because I was supposed to play Chase so many different times. I've never played Chase, so I'm bringing some sort of fun deck to play against Chase. Oh, what else is being? Oh, sorry. Before we get into the next fun thing, I got excited. Basically, as soon as we started talking about Team Sealed, I went from like 0 to 100. I'm like,
Yeah.
anyway, we had an announcement today, so you guys know it's the 11th. That the constructed championship, which was originally going to be both
It would be 2 rounds of constructed,
constructed
then
and
two
limited.
rounds of draft, and then 3 rounds of construct.
It's cool, honestly.
It was
The
neat.
Courtesan Cup was held that way, and obviously you know that I like the Courtesan Cup. There it is. But now it's going to be constructed only, which is really cool.
7 rounds of constructed, just straight
That's what
constructed.
a lot of people
Nice and
wanted.
simple. No, you will still get your 3 packs. That's a main like. If you bought an event ticket and still going to do constructed event, the main constructed event, you will still get your 3 draft packs.
Draft packs.
Yeah.
Yes, because you basically paid for those packs in your event price.
Yep.
You also get a pack per win, I believe, is what
Yep.
Ira was
Pack
saying.
per win.
There are participation prizes that are randomly raffled
There'll
off
be
that they said are
8,
really cool.
I think Arcane Barrages, 8 Acorn
Oh, yeah.
Barrages play mats, and the other thing you get is the Crossroads tower.
Oh, awesome.
Yes,
That's awesome.
And the thing about the towers is they're regionally locked, so the U.S. will get the U.S. version, the Asian
Probably
and Australian will get the
Yeah.
Australian and then Germany and Europe will get that version. Like there will be 3 across the world. It's going to be hard
It'll
to
be hard
collect
to
all 3.
accumulate those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Except if you get the top, is it the top 8 get one of each?
Top 8 get one of each.
And then the top 4 get the rainbow foil avatars, which is pretty cool.
which are
Have we
insane.
seen one yet?
Yeah, they showed them off.
Okay, cool. I'm excited. We'll see. But it's the rainbow foil avatar of the thing that you bring. So Bruce is stuck with a Archimago, where
No, I'm bringing Avatar of
I'm gonna
Earth.
get the avatar of fire. Oh, are you really? That's
No,
cool.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
I would.
I'm gonna bring some jank thing and try to win it, which is really cool. So yes, that's pretty exciting. But the last thing I wanted to mention was also at Gen Con, they're releasing Dragon Lord,
Dragon Lord. Yep.
which is gonna be awesome.
What, you're bringing it. You're gonna bring a Dragon Lord deck, right? You said you were gonna bring Dragon Lord control.
So you said that you were going to bring your playset so that I could build a deck.
You
on the
have
fly
my
at
playset.
Gen Con.
Is it over there in the
I
corner?
can't bring that on the plane. I have one of your playsets. Don't you have a second playset?
Yeah.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
Big spender over here. How many boxes of beta can I see in the background of your?
It's just two right there.
What about the ones below?
We don't talk about the alpha boxes.
Okay. Okay. So yes, I do plan on at least trying to build a Dragon Lord control because if you guys don't know, Dragon Lord, which Bruce can put up on the screen here, has the normal play and draw site, but also you can pick a unique dragon, set it aside, and then you can pay 3 mana if you meet its threshold requirements to gain its abilities this turn, which I'm really excited about. I do need a clarification as to whether or not you can include that card in your spellbook as well, though, right? Because like if I use the
Dragon Lord?
Ignis Rex, well, listen, I've used the Ignis Rex as my unique, but it's not in my spellbook. So can it also be in my spellbook? Can I use 2 Ignis Rexes, one as my unique ability and one in my spellbook? We need clarification. But
okay.
Ignis Rex says airborne, immune to fire damage. Pretty cool already just to have on your avatar.
Phoenix.
And then once on your turn, you can discard a card, deal 3 damage to units at target adjacent location. So
It's not a tap ability.
Again.
It's not a tap ability.
it's not a tap ability. It is once per turn.
Eh.
But the idea here is that you'd build a deck that has like dragons for the finisher, right? Maybe 10 really cool dragons. We're getting 13 cards, but obviously they're not all dragons. One's a site that we've already seen from Ed Beer's website, and one is going to be that artifact. So, okay, fine. We're getting like 10 or 11 dragons. So you put in them as your
Like
top end
nine.
like win cons. You already have I think 7 dragons from Alpha Beta, and so you can put in dragons as your win cons, and then just play control, and then you have basically a minor explosion as your avatar's ability once per turn. All it requires is 3 mana. So
Minor Explosion is
I,
better because that's 2 steps away. This is an adjacent location.
you're correct,
Get
but
your
now I've
rules
got
right.
flying. But now I've got flying.
Uh,
Minor explosion doesn't have flying. Airborne,
do you care about? All
whatever.
right, what? You'll make some stupid thing that it's gonna work and it's gonna irritate me. But yeah,
I'm gonna make some stupid thing. It's gonna be fun.
yeah.
The other card that we have is the Cradle of Ethereum, which is anytime during your turn you can look at your next spell, which is kind of cool. All right, Merlin, and you can cast dragons from the top of your spellbook for 1 less. Pretty cool.
I think
I'm
it's.
into it.
If this was Magic, I would say that's a commander card.
That's fair. It's a two-headed dragon card.
Yeah, it's a 2-headed dragon card. There you go.
To be fair, when Templar came out, I think that we talked about it being kind of good because it's a Philosopher's Stone on your avatar. This is actually a little bit worse anyway because there's not that many dragons, and they have
Templar's
to be on top of
better
the deck.
because they can't remove that effect.
Interestingly, Templar sucks. So Templar being better than this card is not a good thing. So we'll see if it makes the final cut.
Yeah. No, Dragon Lord looks sweet.
Are you gonna build some Dragon Lord stuff?
I will be at the booth Thursday, 7 a.m. Whenever it opens to get my Dragon Lord.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So Bruce, what are you bringing to Gen Con's constructed tournament?
I don't want to. But I feel like I have made my own stink and my own opinions known, and so I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to bring Archimago because it's busted. It's busted right in half.
It's so fun.
It's busted right
Is
in
it
half.
busted, Bruce? Can we prove that it's busted, Bruce?
I think I haven't proved if it's busted, but Kyle, Porkchop, and Moth have.
They're doing the Lord's work.
They're all sitting at a 90% win rate.
So let's talk about this. So Archimago's busted, and people have been saying this for a long time, but not everybody, right? I think that there was a Facebook poll, and something like 60% of people disagreed that Archimago was busted. They said it was fine, leave it where it's at. Ira put out a poll on the online league Discord saying, like, do you think Archimago should be banned? And I think that so there were splits where people said they wanted a errata, and some people wanted it banned, but neither one of those was greater than 50%. Maybe as a whole they were, but most people said it was either fine or errata it, but don't ban it. And Ira also said that this was basically okay because Archimago made up 9% of the meta for Season 7, as well as only had like a 56% win rate, which was not egregious considering Sorcerer, Druid, and Avatar of Air all had pretty good win rates, with Avatar of Air in Season 4 an overwhelming win rate because Kevin now works for Eric's Curiosa, is a beast. So this season, when people were like, it's still broken, people just didn't play it, Ira asked that you play your most competitive deck to see what the meta would shake out when people were actually tryharding. And Bruce, how are we looking with people tryharding?
Archimago is at 128 games played. It's 20%.
Okay, pretty good number.
20% of the meta right now. The next most popular Avatar of Air and Templar, or not Templar. Sorry, that's right above Druid.
Really?
No, Druid and Avatar of Air both at 86 and 87, and those are both 13% of the meta. So Archimago is 7% more popular than anything else, the most popular thing. And here comes the mind-boggling thing. Archimago on the play is at a 79% win rate. Going second is a 67% win rate. Overall,
is that all?
Overall, he's at a 73% win rate. This is
73% win rate with the most games played, but surely small numbers means that other avatars are doing fine, right?
Avatar of Air is the only other one with a positive win rate at 62%. And Avatar of Air is a hard deck to play correctly. So that's being carried by the Avatar of Air lovers. And
the people who play Avatar of Air.
And I will give a bit of a caveat. Archimago is, you have to play it like a control deck, and that is hard. But once you learn how to do that, you have a 90% win rate. All right, let's be generous. An 80% win rate. An 80% win rate.
87% win rate with over 50 games played.
With over 50.
Not against scrubs.
Against everybody in the league. He's played every single buddy in the league. Hold on, let me see the number of unique players.
Oh, every unique player. Yeah, every unique player has to be Kyle. Because there's literally... Is there even 50 unique players yet?
We're at 77 who've played at least one. But if we go up to... It's 55 have played at least 4.
And Kyle has 50 plus games with unique players. So Kyle's played everybody and has an 87% win rate.
Yep. He's played almost
Pork
anybody
Chop.
who's been active in the league.
Pork Chop has an 85% win rate with what is he at, 15 games? And
Yes.
Moth is at 15 games with a 93% win rate. And I mention these guys because they're people that I like speak to a lot and I've been doing well. I mean, I'm at 100% win rate, but out of the 7 times I've queued for a game, I've only gotten 1 game so far, and I won.
Yeah.
But my point is, it's not like one player doing all of it. Kyle is doing really well, and honestly, if you look at any of the past leagues, you'll see that Kyle is a player. He gets to the top cuts with many things. He's very well known for his Fury Road deck, right? But nobody should be at a 90% win rate, and we have 3 people circling that with 1 avatar, and basically this. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know how much we can go into this that we haven't said already.
It's broken.
It's broken.
It's broken. It is fully broken.
So, like, I know there's been talks about, like, Sylvan Splendor being broken or some other thing, like Turtles and Manuscripts or Elemental Throne. None of it comes to a freaking close to Archimago.
Yeah. Archimago is, if anybody played Magic, it's either a Yawgmoth's Will stapled onto your avatar, or it's Underworld Breach stapled onto your avatar, both of which have been banned in multiple formats. And those things you can get rid of.
Those things you can have interaction for.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about this endlessly, but the point is that now that people are kind of actually playing this avatar pretty well, and pretty frequently, we're seeing that the numbers are kind of insane. They're not conducive to a competitive format because they're format warping. Honestly, those numbers, by the way, Bruce, if you know this, but our viewers at home don't, are with mirror matches.
Yeah.
The win rates go up when the mirror matches aren't in there, because automatically Archimago loses when it plays against another Archimago. There's a loser there. Those win rates only go up when
win
you
rates go up
mirror.
if you remove mirror matches by 2 or 3%. So
It's
then
absurd.
it's like above 80 on the play and almost
About
70 on
80.
going second. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, until Gothic is released, the summit's banning Archimago.
Yeah. Any event we do that has any modicum of like format that isn't 40/20 or some other crazy thing.
Like Peasant's Realm, we aren't banning it. That's being run by
Roaring Turkey and Fnatic Glen. They're both doing a great job at it.
Yeah. They're not banning Archimago, so that will still be around, at least for now. But anything that's being run in the summit otherwise is going to have a ban for Archimago, just because it is so format warping. We don't want you to devote 20% of your deck just to putting in the only cards we have that can possibly counter Archimago. And I say possibly because the only game I played in the league, I played against a Roots of Yggdrasil deck that rootsed me, got the Ring of Morrigan, and did the Courtesan Theus against me. And I still won. And that's not because the player wasn't good. He's a very good player. I just like, Archimago, broken things. I win.
Yeah, that was against the Pathfinder Land Destruction, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I got a question for you. If Archimago is banned, do we all complain about Druid? Or is Druid okay?
I don't think so. It's interesting. Druid is really good, but Druid's basically a Sorcerer. I think Sorcerer has kind of paved the way for generically good avatar with generic value strung onto it. You can play a bunch of different decks, and Steam Druid is quite good now, but Steam Druid's not good in a meta where Archimago is banned. Because Archimago decimates midrange and control. But when he's gone, we actually get to have control avatars. And the reason I can kind of say this with an authority, we banned Archimago in one event, and I played a sweet mid-range deck that got decimated by a Deathspeaker control. So you need to have Earth. Earth is back, baby. You need to have Gnome Hollows. You need to have otherwise that Nimbus Gen is for your goods.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we actually get to enter into a meta where it's totally unknown. It's like a Wild Wild West because we haven't really played around with an AL meta sans Archimago. And I'm excited to mess around with that because Deathspeaker's back on the menu, Enchantress kind of is back on the menu, Midrange is back on the menu.
Druid's good.
Elementalist Control could be back.
Yeah, Elementals could be back. I think Sorcerer could have some good like value deck somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you played your Clifford deck.
Yeah,
Clifford deck was good.
Pathfinder comes back. Pathfinder Land Destruction against anything other than Archimago or I guess Geomancer. is
Yeah.
pain. Is absolute
Geomancer.
pain.
Have you seen a Geomancer? The only Geomancer I have seen played in months is Ira. And that was hyper tuned to beat Archimago, and I think it still went like 50-50.
And he was like all in on the Roots plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's going to open up the meta a lot, and we'll get to see some interesting. So I'm pretty excited about that.
So speaking of Summit, Summit has a bit of a rebrand. Like we're still going to do the monthly, semi-monthly tournaments. Will still be a staple of Sorcerer Summit. Those are not going anywhere. The other thing we are adding to is wanting to build a community space to talk about different formats, bans, erratas, changes, just ideas of sorcery. Right now we have the Peasant's Realm, formerly Poor Sorcery, just because we had some feedback, which is totally fair. And I never really liked Poor Sorcery as a name. It didn't roll off. I like Peasant's Realm. I don't know. It feels nice. I'd rather be a peasant. I like being a peasant.
Hell yeah.
And then we
Had
have...
it took Popper.
Yeah. Yeah, but Pauper is different because that's ordinaries only. This is ordinaries and exceptionals.
Yes.
So a little bit different. We also have channels for Two-Headed Dragon, which is an amazing format. It is so much fun to play Two-Headed Dragon, especially in paper. You're sitting next to us. I wish there was going to be a considered like Two-Headed Dragon event at Gen Con, but I'm sure people will be playing it. It's a freaking blast.
I'll probably bring my mat and just play that during like Thursday when I get there before 4 o'clock draft. I'll just yeah.
And then the other two that are, or the other one that's not like super as popular is four-player free-for-all. We have a channel about four-player free-for-all, and like you can get the files there from David or Floating Skull. He has those available on his website. And the other thing I've added, because I think it's kind of cool, is I'm going to put all my deck lists and stats breakdowns into a channel on Sorcerer Summit. People have asked me multiple times throughout the last 6 months to a year, it's like, hey, can I get these files that you show off in your videos? Absolutely. You can ask anybody who's asked. I freely give those files to anybody. And so now those will be public. Anybody can come in and get a whole full JSON breakdown of any deck that was at a certain event, all the popular cards and CSV files for those. I will have screenshots and as many deck list links as I can get. I've gone back as far as Ira's League Season 2 and 3 to find these old deck lists that were honestly wild to look at, and people did not know how to play this game. Man, it's cool. Speaking of which, you had the idea
I'm just excited to
of doing a video on, like, we both pull a deck from Season 2 of Ira's League or something, and we play those and see the crazy crap people are playing. I think that would be really fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I just love how high the mana curve is. To be fair, every time we draft or talk about draft and people are like, gotta get a 2-drop, I'm like, curve starts at 4, baby, let's go. So I'm here for the top end.
Man, back in those
Brown Bears only.
Back in those old events, people's curves started at 4 and ended at like 9 for
Meteor Shower.
Meteor Shower's played. It was it's like
frequently. It was like a game ender. You're like, what?
These games went on for like an hour and 20 minutes for a normal game. That has since come down to like a half an hour. It shows how much better people have gotten.
This only lives in legend to me because I started playing last year. So
yeah,
yeah,
it was.
I'm excited to try it.
Wild time. Yeah,
yeah. And then we also have one more event that we want to do, where we're going to be giving away this bad boy.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know if did we even mention that the Sorcerer Summit's going to be free? We should probably have mentioned that, but it's free now.
Yeah. So events going forward, at least until Gothic, are going to be free. Right now, we are running a free 40/20 event, which has been a blast. We had 24 people sign up. I have ratings in our match result form. The average, out of 10, is about a 7.2. Compared to our last 50/30 was about a 6 overall, because that was when Archimago was illegal, and that was a point system
and undefeated.
And it went undefeated. But so I think overall people are having a blast with the 40/20 event. It was something different. Mm-hmm. People brewed decks. People brought their pet decks. I brought Avatar of Earth. so close to my heart. Yeah,
I think I went with Druid, but I was like this close to bringing some combo jank, and then I was like, let's just have fun.
yeah, yeah.
So, but
So
yes. So the next event that we want to do that's going to be free is going to be the bottom 5 avatars. So the worst 5 least played avatars are the only ones that are legal.
and
So no
we'll
Archimago,
have
but
a
also
poll.
no Sorcerer.
We'll have a poll in the Sorcerer Summit to find those bottom 5. Avatar of Fire will be
Guaranteed
there.
Avatar Fire is in
Yeah,
there.
Avatar of Fire will be there, and we'll figure out the other 4.
Everything else is who knows.
Yeah.
It's Avatar Fire is like the F tier, and then there's like everything else is somewhere above there, so we'll figure it out from.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then that's going to be offering up this beautiful Sorcerer Pietro altar is going to be the prize, which we're very excited.
And I'll put that somewhere on the screen.
We had talked about it. We have been doing these paid tournaments, and honestly, I really like them. I think it's a really fun alternative way for competitive players to, play competitive games, high-level sorcery with really cool prizing. And we do want to continue to do that, and we think we will. But with Archimago being such a drain on, honestly, fun, and just being kind of overpowered, if we're doing competitive tournaments that you pay for and you can win these really cool prizes like, artist proofs or altars, I feel like it's going to be too sweaty with all Archimagos running around. So we wanted to do a break from those things for now, just to give people a place to come play fun sorcery, competitive sorcery, but not have to worry about Magoo.
And with the Magoo ban, it sucks all the fun out of it, but half the fun of any TCG, especially sorcery, is deck building and brewing, and coming up with cool ideas and different synergies. And when Archimago just dumpsters on everything, it just goes, why do I even try? So
yeah,
I really hope banning Archimago will help people kind of like foster some kind of new idea. I think mid-range comes back, the Death Speaker control. But yeah.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And the same idea is for the bottom 5 avatars, right? Like, obviously, when you're building a deck, you come with this cool idea, and you're like, what's the best avatar for it? Well, I could use Druid. He's great. I could use Sorcerer because he's the card. I could use, whatever. But then when you're like, I've got Avatar Fire. What do I do with this thing? It's really exciting.
I know Moth has a very spicy Avatar Fire list that plays on a whole different axis than anything I've seen.
So the first thing he did is makes perfect sense.
Don't go too far into it.
The second part that he mentioned, I was like, is that how that works? Moth is a really good brewer. It should not be surprising that Moth made a cool deck.
Yeah.
But that's my point, right? Like, I would never have even thought about the rules surrounding Avatar Fire. And then when that's one of the only 5 options you've got, you got to start digging deep into the card pool, and that's exciting. So yes, I am super here for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. With Gothic, we do have some cool prizes that we're going to be offering. Again, we'll probably be doing some paid tournaments again. I do have an artist proof that we got commissioned.
I might have shown 1 or 2 people, and it's really cool.
It's really cool. So yeah, that'll be coming back in the future. But right now, we still have some amazing prizes. I'm just hoping people forgot about the chicken though, because I don't want to give this one away.
Yeah, we'll do something with the chicken.
No, we forgot about it. It doesn't exist anymore. Oh well, it got lost. It never arrived. Pietro, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to it.
As you're holding it, yeah, that's real convincing there, CJ.
I'm trying to be fair, but I really like it. But yeah, so basically, come to play in the summit. It'll be a lot of fun. It's supposed to be a fun space for community games. Not that anywhere else isn't, but we're just trying to host.
We're trying to do something different, right?
Yeah.
The league is the league. It is the most unfettered format of sorcery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get people who are trying to be competitive, usually.
Yeah.
And unrestricted lists.
Yeah, I mean that's where I loved to play sorcery.
Agreed.
The format right now is rough.
Not the favorite. Also, I wanted to mention one more thing about the summit. Honestly, I told Bruce before this. I was like, we have to be concise. And
it's not stream of consciousness. It's turning into a stream of consciousness.
It's not going to be stream of consciousness, but a stream of consciousness because that's just kind of who we are. But the other thing I wanted to mention was that we would love for you to play in the summit and to fill out the feedback forms. Not because we want to stroke our own ego and know how many games are being played, but we're actually getting really cool data that we can then bring to Eric's Curiosa or bring to the community so we can mention things, right? So us saying that Archimago is busted doesn't really prove anything. It doesn't really say that Archimago's busted, but Bruce is just a better player than I am, and he keeps beating me with Archimago. That's not data. That's anecdote. But when we have 130 games saying that Archimago's got an 80% win rate on the play, those numbers are helpful to kind of drive the conversation. So, for example, our initial ring data was kind of like, oh, ring wins like 8% of games. It's like out of these 20 games, that's cool. We're getting up to 15% win rate when you draw the ring.
Yeah, right now
Is that right?
it's 15%. If you so yes and I won is at 20%, and yes and I lost is at 5%. Um,
So 15% if
you get a 15% boost.
you're 15%. Okay, you're 15% more likely to win if you draw the ring than lose the ring, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is what we can extrapolate from those. My point is, we're getting better ring data, which is kind of interesting, and I would like to find out those things for a lot of things, right? If we're like, okay, how about second player scry rule, seer rule, right? Second player uses to scry, then does that close the gap on win loss, right?
We are at 52% on the or if you go first, you're at 52% win rate. If you go second, you're at 48. So like it's pretty close still.
But that's with a few number of games, right? I think
That's not
Ira's
enough.
League had, yeah,
Yeah.
Ira's League had something like 50 or 500 games, and they had a wider gap. And then with the second player scry rule, it got a little bit smaller.
Yeah, it's like less
Is
than
that what I'm
1% or
understanding?
something. Yeah.
So we would like to gather as much data as we can for different tweaks and changes that are in the game, or honestly just certain cards when we're talking about, Archimago being broken or just a rock being broken. My point is, it's interesting to
Talking
be
about
able to
a
gather
deep
data on
cut.
that.
Nobody's talked about Just a Rock since the fucking release, since the spoiler came out.
But how about swap, right? Like, it would be really interesting to say, here's what we got after 1,000 games. That when you get the Ring of Morrigan, you win 16% more games than when you didn't get the ring. And then when swap comes out, are we going to see that number drop to 10%? Or we see it drop to 5%? Or we say it's actually a liability and I lose Ring of Morrigan? That's the kind of thing that I'm interested in. So yeah, come play in the summit. It's really cool.
Yeah.
We get to find out fun data and nerd out about it.
I think that's one of the best things about the Sorcerer Summit. Like, I know we're playing 40-20. Maybe that's a reason why the win rate's different. With the ring. Right now we're playing 40-20, and
Variables.
yeah, whatever. But more matches, more data, more feedback, more things to provide to Eric's Curiosa to go, hey, here's some information you can use to make decisions, which is helpful for everybody.
Agreed. Or honestly, not even just Eric's Curiosa. Just again, we've seen that community organizers before anything else. Like we've had no Magoo ban officially, but community organizers have started banning it at many events. Actually, most that I've seen recently, and that's largely driven by getting data like this, saying like, hey, listen, people are having less enjoyment. People are having less fair games, etc. So it's good to have this data, regardless of what Eric's Curiosa decides to do. There's no obligation for them to use it in any way, but like it's nice that anybody has access to this data so they can make informed decisions about really anything they want to do with this game. We are playing this game. I think Bruce mentioned this recently. We're playing this game in a way it wasn't designed to be. It's supposed to be kitchen table and casual, right? Big swinging turns. It's not supposed to be competitive. It's not supposed to be data driven, and that's what we are turning it into. So the point we're saying is it's not a why aren't you doing something about this? There's no obligation for Ira, who runs the league, or Eric Curiosa to do these things, and we're not saying give us this data so we can force them to change. What we're saying is we like to play this game our way. And if we get data like this, then it will be helpful for us to modify the game so that it suits our needs.
Yeah.
And we want you to join the Sorcerer Summit if you feel that way about the game. And if you don't,
I feel like
I'm just kidding.
Jeez. Wow. All right.
Join either way. Join either way. We would love to have you.
Jeez. All right. Yeah. I had a point.
See.
I was gonna say competitive players remind me a lot of like Two-Headed Dragon and 40-20, and it's just another format, right? It's just another way to play the game. They're like you play it casually, you play it competitively, you play it Two-Headed Dragon. Like we just need to. We're all complaining because we're all really invested and we love the game. We wouldn't be complaining if we didn't care. I think my mindset on it.
Yeah. So we'll have to edit some of this out because we talked too much about this point. But I think the point is just join the Sorcerer Summit, play games there. It'd be great to have you. If you don't mind filling out some feedback forms just so we can gather data. If that's too much, that's okay too. You don't have to. It's just a request.
Yeah.
And yeah, free events from now until Gothic.
Sorcerer Summit is going to be free until Gothic. Gen Con's on the way. We got the Sorcerer for the next bottom 5 avatars. Dragon Lord's coming. Gothic's right around the corner. It's so close. The swap in the...
We think...
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching us ramble about nonsense. I'll see you next time.
Cheers.
See ya.